Hi everyone, here to give you a synopsis of my capstone paper. Starting right off the bat, I need to talk about its connection to my threads paper. So my threads paper was discussing the importance of pop culture and the roles it plays. So in that one, I talked about how pop culture is not just entertainment. It is an entertainer, but it's also an instructor, a coping mechanism, things like that. So once I address that it does have a place in society and it is culturally significant, uh, that's when I kind of connected it to my capstone, and my capstone's going to get a little bit more specific and obviously theory based. So, my capstone, I want to only address one product of pop culture, which is film, and then that one, I want to explain not the functions of it, but I want to explain the voice behind it and its inherent nature, which is what I'm claiming by using apparatus film theory as a perspective in my capstone, using that to claim that by nature film is inherently ideological, and how it does it is through the formation of genres. And in my capstone, the genres I'm going to be looking at are sci-fi, the erotic thriller, and film noir. So starting off with the first one, science fiction, the ideology that I want to claim there is fear of the other. So I'm going to use a lot of films like from the 50s and 60s, kind of B low grade sci-fi, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or Tarantula or The Blob, them, movies like that. I wouldn't want to use those because I think they're a perfect example of how science fiction can use fear of the other. Those films have a very anti-communist point of view, and since at that time, um, being a communist was very much the other. It was a feared thing. Uh, that's how I'm going to use those movies and again talk about the ideology there. And then the next one is going to be the erotic thriller. That one I'm going to use movies that came out probably around the 80s and 90s and maybe even late 70s. But movies like Play Misty for Me and Fatal Attraction and Body of Evidence, those movies kind of professing this idea that femininity is dangerous or um, uh, a woman is dangerous. So the last one I'm going to do, which those two were a bit more conservative, and then I'm going to do one that's more progressive, which is film noir, and using such films as Sin City or The Maltese Falcon. I'm going to use those to explain how it talks about the failure and the impossibility of the American dream. Uh, so those are some of my thoughts. Thanks, guys.